I made a fake one.
A few times a week, I go onto Google and search certain topics around Power Rangers because, we're a Power Rangers channel and we love to talk about the brand. Well, today I stumbled upon an old article from 1994 that blew my mind and had me laughing. It was possibly one of the worst articles I've ever read in my life. It was about Power Rangers, and it was written by a man by the name of Harry L. Rinker. This was pushed out in 1994, so it sounds like Harry Rinker was a grown man in the early 90s, late 80s. He wrote a lot of articles for the Morning Call, which is a newspaper in Pennsylvania. Now, I do not know what happened to him, if he retired or if he passed away, but when you push out articles, it's on the internet, it is here forever, and we are going to talk about it. The headline is Power Rangers is just marketing. He writes, just when I thought it was safe because I could identify the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles by the color of their masks, along come the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Instead of Shredder, I now have to know about Lord Zed and Rita Repulsa. There is a special place reserved for product developers and designers who dream up these juvenile collecting nightmares. So right off the gate, bro is just so negative. He is a grown man in the 90s and he is about to rip the Power Rangers to shreds. We will give you a critique on his opinion in a second, but let's get into it. Mr. Rinker goes on to say, the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers represent a new all-time, probably never achievable again low for children's television programming. The show is the worst of times for individuals with a sense of aesthetics, a love of reality, and an opposition to needless and senseless violence. Oh my God. This is crazy, but it gets worse. He goes on to compare the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers to the Cabbage Patch Dolls, but he says the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers are no Cabbage Patch Dolls. He says you can still buy Cabbage Patch Dolls at toy stores 15 years after the initial craze hit. In 15 years, the principal selling medium for the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers will be garage sales. Do not expect to see them in toy stores anywhere. How wrong was this guy? There are still Power Ranger toys everywhere online. I just got some toys that hit my house today. I got the yellow Ranger Morpher and the pink Ranger Morpher. Just got shipped in my house from GameStop today. It's kind of hilarious. You're reading this article and it's like, how many of y'all just bought a new Power Ranger toy, man? He goes on to write, when the dust settles in a year or two, the current Mighty Morphin Power Rangers craze will be studied as one of the great classic supply and demand market manipulations of all time. This man had no idea what was about to happen with not only toys, with video games and the consoles and everything, because he goes on to write, what should be the best times in toy stores is really the worst times when one looks closely. In merchandising, keeping the customer happy is the name of the game. No merchandiser wants to be put into the position of having to deny his customers what they want. Yet this is precisely the position in which toy stores find themselves. Okay, they found themselves in that because the first round of Power Ranger toys, there wasn't that many of them. They had no idea it was going to be that big of a show. They had some toys out, but they had no idea the show was going to be a #1 kids television show right away. So they sold out right away, and that was your whole supply and demand. Later on, they ended up being able to put Power Ranger toys on shelves everywhere all of the time. Yes, there was an initial fight over the toys because there wasn't that many, but I don't think that was a planned thing. And if you look at today, you still can barely get a PS5 places. You still have to kind of scurry and call around. It's a lot easier than it was a year ago. But yes, supply and demand is a big thing. And that just proved if there's millions of people that want something, it's going to be harder for everyone to get it unless you plan accordingly. The article goes on to say the real culprits are the parents who have allowed themselves to be suckered into the Power Rangers buy-in frenzy, so skillfully crafted by the Bandai marketers. I really can't take this article too seriously. Bandai capitalized, Saban capitalized, but it was part skill and part luck. It blew up, man. I don't want to give too much credit. Like, it was a great idea, but they got lucky on this one, man, a little bit. Like, they act like Bandai just had this plan for years and was just going to capitalize and knew they were going to be millionaires. If they knew they were going to be millionaires off of this, Stan Lee would have brought this to America like he originally wanted to do in the mid-80s, man. He was trying to get the Power Rangers, or at least the Super Sentai product, out here in the States, and nobody wanted to do it. The man goes on to say, in an effort to understand the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers phenomenon, I stood by the Power Ranger display areas at 2 toy stores. The buyers were adults. I did not see one kid spending his allowance money on Power Rangers stuff. Each store offered dozens of Power Rangers licensed items for sale. Despite this, over half the conversations between the adults and store personnel conserved merchandise the store did not have. Are the Bandai marketers clever enough to have figured out the key to driving a market mad is to focus their television advertising on what is least available, not most? You be the judge. Nah, bro. First of all, this guy's got it all wrong. Kids couldn't afford a lot of these Power Ranger toys because they were expensive. And of course, the parents were going to be the ones buying them. I know plenty of kids that their parents went out and bought them the new Megazord when it came out. But yeah, the parents bought these things because even in the 90s, some of these Zords were like $75 to $90, man. They were expensive. Second of all, with any type of video game, toy, certain type of phones, there's gonna be versions and things that are always available, and then there's the ones that sell out right away. It happens. And those are the good ones. Of course, people are going to buy something when it's popular and it's going to sell out, but you told me you went to the store and there was still Power Rangers merch there. But some people couldn't get the exact Megazord or something because it is a hot item. This happens in everything, every market. It just sounds like this guy is an older fella, at least, over 25, 30, watched Power Rangers, didn't really like it, and now is just hating, man. If you had a show that was like this as a kid, you would love it, and it was for kids. The thing that I hate about this article is he didn't talk to any kids about it. You should have found, 4 or 5 kids that are fans of it and the parents that buy them the stuff, and you'll tell them why they're really into it, man. The last thing I wanted to cover on this article was this nonsense. Once the craze is over and the secondary speculative market for Power Rangers material begins to collapse, the horde will flood the market, accelerating the collapse. May the stashers all have to sell at 10 cents on the dollar. That is hilarious, because if you know anybody that has some old Power Ranger merch in the box, especially the Morphers or the Megazords, those are worth a pretty penny these days. I love it, man. Even back in the day, there was so much hate. There were parent associations trying to tear down Power Rangers because there was violence in the show. It is awesome to see that kids rule, man. Like, if the kids want it, they're going to get it. And Power Rangers was not that bad of a show. There are so many more shows and video games and things that are a lot more horrible than Power Rangers, man. And every Power Rangers show has some type of lesson of the day. And they make their Rangers into good, outstanding citizens, man. They hold the door open for you. They help you out. They're good people, man. So at the end of the day, this guy was wrong. And I just wanted to share this with you because this was in 1994, man. December 10th. Somebody named by the name of Harry Rinker put out this. And you know what? Everyone's got their own opinions, but this was not a bad show. It had millions and millions of fans. There had to be a reason why, man. Just because you don't get it doesn't mean that it's a failure. And I just love everything he said in this article is pretty much wrong because it went nowhere. It didn't end up on garage sales, at least not for long. I see some of the Ranger merch on garage sales. I'm copping it because I'm probably getting it for real cheap, but you can still find merch. There are hundreds of Power Ranger items that are available right now from merchandisers all over, man. Power Rangers is here to stay. Let's keep building this brand so this guy can't be right, but you know what? He's wrong because this was in 1994, and here we are almost 30 years later, guys. Man, it's been a ride. We will continue to cover Power Rangers all the time. I want to thank you guys so much for watching the show, and we will see you next time. Peace. I want to give a big shout out to our Gold Ranger members, Anime King Nick, Chaos Draco, the Arctic Operator, and Thomas Franco. Thank you guys so much for your support. I really appreciate it. And if you want shout outs at the end of my videos, sign up to be a Gold Ranger member today. Thanks for watching this video. If you like this content, you know what to do. Hit that like, hit that subscribe button, and hit that notification bell. You can also become a member. Please join the fan club support team right now. We have a Blue Ranger power-up and a Gold Ranger power-up. This is an awesome way to talk with the fans. Join a fan club official chat group. You can also be featured in our videos. At the end of the videos, I will shout you out. That's if you get the Gold Ranger Power Up membership. Go check it out. Go support the fan club. We love you guys, and thanks for watching. Peace.